Hello everybody. Welcome to my case study. And I'm going to be analyzing a fellow colleague of mine. His name is Craig, and he's currently enrolled in an MBA program. So I will be observing 2 weeks of one MBA course that he's taking. And this MBA course that he's taking, it's entirely online. It is asynchronous. So he is allowed to study at his own pace. It's very, very similar to the courses that we have at Northeastern. There are things such as weekly discussion posts that he has to participate in. And over the course of 2 weeks, I'm primarily going to be looking at those weekly discussion posts and how does he go into those learning modules, look at the content, and how does he actually finish the discussion post in time. One particularly important part of this study is going to be the fact that my learner, he is very, very busy. So he has a full-time job as an admissions counselor, which is a very demanding job. He's also coaching part-time, and then he also has a relationship that he has to make time for. One big challenge for Craig is going to, of course, be managing his time. How does he, manage all these different responsibilities and then still have time to make learning happen? So I will be taking a big look at some theories that will help me out with that, and one particular theory that's going to help me out with that is self-regulated learning. So essentially, what kind of techniques might Craig be using to help learn and to stay on pace? For example, is he setting goals, and how is he maybe controlling his learning environment? So I'm going to be taking a look at how he does that. In addition to that, I will be taking a look at cognitive load, because as we know, in order to have deeper learning and to really retain your learning, you have to be able to transition it from short term to longer term. And in order to do that, your short-term memory, you need to have enough space available to be able to create new schema, which will then lead to long-term memory. Well, given that Craig is so busy, he might have so many distractions going on in his life right now, it may be really, really difficult for him to achieve that, especially when he's trying to hurry up and finish these posts because he just doesn't have the time. He doesn't have time to really dive into the learning as much as he probably should. So I'm definitely going to be looking at that. In addition to that, I will be taking his background into consideration. So I'll be looking at some constructivism type theory to see how that might be impacting his learning. And then lastly, I want to take a closer look at online learning design. I think especially in today's age with COVID and the advancement of online learning, I do think that there are major deficiencies in online learning design. And particularly, I think there are major deficiencies in assessing students' participation and engagement. I think, oftentimes, when you're in the classroom and the teacher can formatively assess you by asking you questions and all of this kind of on the spot, as a student, you really need to know that information, which means before you go to the classroom, you really have to have done the reading and viewed the videos, but not in online learning. You don't really have to do that the same way because you're not being put on the spot. You have plenty of time to come up with a 250-word discussion post, for example. You don't have to know the knowledge right away, so therefore you can kind of cherry pick things and just answer questions. Is there any way that this can be improved, and how might this be impacting Craig's learning, for example? Is this letting him get away with things that he wouldn't be able to get away with if he had to go to a classroom and his participation was graded in person? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy what you're going to see, and I'm looking forward to any kind of questions or whatnot that you might have after you've viewed my study. So thank you very much again, and I hope you enjoy it.